What is good, YouTube? In today's video, I got y'all the top 5 zero recoil loadouts you guys should be using here in Battlefield 6. These are the loadouts that I think are going to have very little to zero recoil, be super easy to use, and be effective. So all I need from you guys, if you could do me a favor and drop a like on today's video, and make sure you subscribe, those notifications turned on so you don't miss out on any of my Battlefield 6 content. Now let's get into it. All right, so the first gun up here today is going to be the B36A4. This is a very early level unlock AR, and it's honestly really solid. You can take a look at it right there. I mean, recoil pattern's very minimal. All I'm doing essentially is just pulling down on the stick, and this build right here is able to largely dominate at decent range. The reload is fast. So overall, I think you guys are really going to like this. All right, so for the first attachment here in this build, I'm going to be using my mouse to be able to just showcase some of this stuff a little bit easier. I am controller on PC, by the way, just put that out there, but I'm just showcasing with my mouse. First attachment is the compensated brake. For the purpose of having zero or very little to zero recoil, I want you guys to be using the compensated brake. My personal preference would be a suppressor, just because I can control the recoil that I get on my guns, and I find that it is very easy to drop a lot more kills, to be more effective in game when I don't have, you know, myself just being loud on the radar. Though I can still be perfectly fine, I just would rather run a suppressor. But for the purpose of zero to little recoil, the compensated brake is going to be the best attachment in here for that. After that, we're going to go in here to the barrel section, and we are going to be running the 510 DMR barrel. What this does is even over the extended barrel, so you get like a little bit more on the ADS time, like it's a little bit slower, but of course your precision is less with the extended barrel versus the heavy extended. You get a bit more mobility, so you lose mobility, gain precision, so it's going to make you essentially more accurate, and it's going to have your shots have less bloom, so you have some extra points to spill over instead of using this. I have run this pretty frequently just because I can deal with any of that precision and stuff like that, and it generally only leaves me with 5 points. But if you want to run this, that is perfectly fine as well. So either or of these are going to be great barrels to run. Just stay away from the basic, the regular, heavy, and the light barrel, and of course the short barrel. After that, in the underbarrel section, you guys want to go for the ribbed stubby. This slightly reduces recoil and enables a slightly faster transition to aim down sights. There are other, let's say, grips in here that are going to be very good for, you know, of course, helping with your overall recoil, but you do, you know, actually have a cost of your ADS movement speed and accuracy, or you're losing, you know, accuracy while moving. There's a lot of things that it's just going to really kind of mess with you. So this really just helps you here with your overall, you know, recoil control and having, you know, a little bit more movement speed right there. So that's really nice. No cons. I quite like that. And also some of these grips down here being 35 and 45 points, that is a bit excessive in my opinion. I don't think I want to spend that many points on a build just for that. Speaking of spending points though, we're going to be spending 15 here on the 36 round magazine. I quite like this. I've ran the 40 round. It just depends on kind of how I'm building this thing out. If I'm going to have enough you know, space left, I guess I could technically slap that on right there, since I'm using a bit of a different attachment, and I can go ahead and keep the 40 round or the 36. But a lot of people, I feel like, aren't going to be having the 40 yet unlocked. So keeping that 36 or the 30 fast is still acceptable, but that right there is a great option. That's my general preference. Lastly, we're going to go up in here to throw on a sight, and I'm just going to go through on the ROM 1.75. Absolutely love this thing. If you guys want to go for even less kind of recoil, I mean, you throw in like the mini flex, but keep in mind, the larger the magnification, the sight you throw on, the more of that recoil you're going to get in your optic. That's just because, you know, you're zoomed in more, so you feel more of that bounce. That is one thing. And also I will say that being on a higher FOV, like 120 FOV, does make your visual recoil a lot less, just because you're not zoomed into like that 90 FOV where things are more zoomed in and you see more of that bounce. So that does help out in a bit of an off way that's not related to the build. So snap on whatever optic you guys want. I should also say the Baker 3 times, really good on a lot of guns, especially if you're playing Red Sec. If you guys are playing Red Sec, you can run almost a lot of these builds that are good for long range in Red Sec and be perfectly fine without switching anything. So kind of throw whatever you want on there, and that right there is going to be the full build. Next up, I think I would be doing myself a disservice, or you guys a disservice, if I didn't show you guys the SOR. This thing, even with a suppressor, not sure why my thumb is in the scope, but even with a suppressor and without a compensator of some sort, this is absolutely incredible with like the overall recoil on it. Love it, and that's why it's one of the best guns in multiplayer and in Red Sec. First attachment though, I want you guys to run the standard suppressor. This is going to be an absolute heater of an attachment, so definitely go ahead and slap that on there. You don't really need anything else. You can throw on, let's say, like the double port brake and be perfectly fine, and then have some points left over for something else. But personally, I like running the standard suppressor. It keeps me off the radar for a decent bit of people. Also, people just don't hear you audibly. That's a big thing. A lot of people don't even be looking at that bottom left corner minimap. They just be listening to what's going on around them, and then when they can't hear you because the suppressor, you're basically invisible to them. So that's just kind of the state of how people play the game and their lack of awareness, which is really good. So we actually like that. So slap on the suppressor, you'll be good to go. After that, in the barrel section, I don't know why it says new for me. I've had that unlocked for a minute, but we want to go for the 18 US-LB. This is the best barrel in here. It's got to 1,000 meters a second bullet velocity, which is absolutely crazy. None of these other ones are going to be like significantly better. Like, sure, you gain a little bit of precision here with the heavy barrel versus the extended, but you lose bullet velocity and ADS time and stuff like that. And it's like, you guys saw the gun. It's not really moving a whole lot. So just slap on the extended, or the 18 USLB. After that, going back down here, using that rib stubby. This is one of my favorite grips to run because it has no downsides, and it reduces recoil and makes me a little bit faster in my transition to ADS. It does come in very handy. I will not lie. It does genuinely come in handy, so I quite like that. No cons is absolutely huge, and having 2 pros is awesome. Of course, down here in the magazine section, not sure why that's new either, but the 36 round mag is perfectly acceptable to run on this thing. If I had more, then I would be going down here and running the 40 round mag, but unfortunately, I don't have any more extra points, so we're going to be running the 36 on this thing. So definitely go ahead and run the 36 or even the regular 30. That'd be perfectly acceptable as well, but the 40 would be something of a preference for me. And unfortunately, that puts me over capacity right there, which is not fun. Then we're going to go up in here and we're going to go to our last attachment, which is going to be a larger optic, the Baker 3x. Like I said, you can run basically whatever optic you want on a lot of these guns, but the Baker 3x is phenomenal for multiplayer, for RedSec. If you want less visual recoil, throw in like the ROM. You could throw on the midi flex and you for sure ain't going to see any. So that right there is going to be awesome. Variety of ways to run the SOR. All of them are effective. And that right there is a truly very effective no recoil build. All right, next up is going to be a build here with the brand new gun in the game, the SOR 300SC. This is a carbine, but it's basically a combination of the SCW and the SOR assault rifle, and it's actually got great range. You can see that I'm full autoing it, and it's basically not blooming out very much. So you guys are going to be very taken care of, especially for like some stationary targets. Very little bloom, and it's very agile and mobile as well. As you can see that, that's great hip fire. So you're taking care of a lot of ranges using this gun. It's pretty wild. Right, so for our first attachment in here, I'm going to be running the double port brake. And by the way, this is a level 16 gun, and it is only 80 out of 100. So you have room to kind of mess with this and use different things that you want to. But overall, this is like great for kind of like any and everything. And the way I have it built right now. So double port brake, really good for reducing recoil. After that, we're gonna go down in here and run the 10.5 custom, which is the extended barrel. Just gets you faster, projectile velocity, enables a faster transition to aim down sights, making you more effective at range. And it's just overall really, really awesome. After that, we do have the light in here for close range. It just blinds people, essentially. It's just meant to be annoying. I mean, obviously, you're going to be seen running around with a flashlight, but if you don't mind that, then you're going to be able to absolutely blind people at close range. Kind of a bit of a double-edged sword in that regard, but I'd say that it is definitely worth it and beneficial to run. Down here in the grip section, I'm running the angled grip, and this right here, it's like, it makes you faster overall, and of course, you have, that enables a slightly faster transition to aim down sight to the cost of ADS accuracy while moving. It says it does that. I'm not really feeling that a whole lot because this thing is so accurate. So that's the reason I'm running it. But the adjusted angled is really, really awesome. And if you don't have that, throw in like the alloy vertical and you'll be perfectly fine right there. That is like super awesome. And of course, you'll be spending a little bit more points, but you have the ability to spend more points. If you really wanted to, you could technically go for like the 6H64 vertical, which will give you the most precision and control, but it really doesn't need that. So it's like, why waste points on that if it doesn't need it? Down here in the magazine section, because you don't really get the 30 round fast mag until level 21, which I'm still 5 levels away from, I don't really think, I mean, obviously I'll spend the points on that when I get to it, or the 36 round mag at level 28, but that's still a ways away, and I think mass majority of people won't have it leveled up like that, so the base 30 round mag is fine. Standard ammunition, Of course, we're going to go up in here. We're going to be running the 5MW green laser, which will change to 50MW when I have it unlocked in basically a couple levels. So slap that on there. And lastly, you can go in here and run like the ROM 1.75x, or what I'd otherwise recommend is the MiniFlex 1.0. Absolutely awesome, beautiful sight. Makes it very easy to be able to use at close and medium range. Not as much far range, of course, because it's a red dot, but you can be very, very effective with a carbine at decent range. Really nice, like hybrid kind of gun they got in the game right now. So highly recommend you guys level this thing up and try it out. Next up here is going to be a build for the PW5A3, aka the MP5. This gun makes appearance in a few of my top 5s because, I mean, it's just really, really good. Look at that close range and, of course, medium range hip fire. You have to spam or tap fire it a little bit, but overall, even at like medium distance, I mean, take a look at that. That's not moving a whole lot. And of course, the hip fire is actually pretty crazy. So, I mean, you've got a really great SMG on your hands, so we got to show you guys the build for it. All right, first attachment getting in here, I'm going to be using the CQB suppressor as it fully hides in-world spotting, reduces the range where a soldier is spotted on the minimap while firing. So that's really cool. And I mean, it gives me better hip fire as opposed to the regular suppressor, the standard suppressor. So you definitely can run the standard if you don't happen to have the CQB. Not going to be anything wrong with that. You're just going to lose out a little bit of hip fire accuracy, which is not like the end of the world. It's still really, really effective. So I'd recommend for you guys to go for the CQB. After that, we're going to go down here, run the 245 custom, basically the extended barrel. There's only 2 options in here, so you might as well just run the one that is the most effective, and that is going to be this one right here. After that, I do have the 5MW green laser on, so I quite like it. I would recommend for you guys to go ahead and use it. It does actually make quite a difference. And you can run the red laser too, but you lose hip fire, which you don't with this one, so that's actually pretty nice. Then we can go down here to the barrel underbarrel section and run the alloy vertical, which just slightly reduces your overall recoil, which is something I like quite a bit. Down here in the magazine, I have this at a 30 round fast mag. By the way, this is only a level 19 gun, so it's not like it's crazy leveled up. I try to give you guys builds that are like reasonable, you know, because if I like no life a single gun and rank it up, and then I'm like, oh, hey, by the way, here's attachments that are like level 30 plus, it's like the probability that you guys are going to have those is very, very low. So I like to be reasonable and rank everything up to a reasonable degree, then give you guys setups for them. So 30 round fast mag is right there. Standard ammunition, we already went over the laser. And of course, then we have the MiniFlex 1.0, which you can save points on by running the iron sights, as the iron sights are actually really, really nice on this gun. So you can do that if you absolutely want to, and it's something I would actually recommend. So that is pretty cool, but MiniFlex, really, really great. Or even the OSA 1.0. I'm not as big of a fan of this thing, but I do enjoy the MiniFlex. So that right there is a wonderful MP5 build. Last but definitely not least is going to be a build here with the RPKM. I would feel bad if I didn't give you guys a build with an LMG. This thing, no matter what sight you have on it, it's going to be fantastic. I just happen to have a red dot on it right now, but I mean, there's a reason it's one of the best things to use in multiplayer, and in RedSec, you can see downs people ridiculously fast at range. First attachment in here is going to be, of course, the standard suppressor. You guys definitely want to go ahead and run that. It does make a difference. Highly recommend you guys run a suppressor. It doesn't totally keep you off the radar, like I said previously, but a lot of people just don't be looking at the radar. They just be listening for the audio cues because, you know, firing a gun is pretty loud in this game. So, I mean, you know, when you have a suppressor, you are significantly quieter, and a lot of people just don't be listening and hearing you firing. So it is something that is very, very nice. After that, though, we want to go for the heavy extended, which just gives us that maximum increase to our overall, you know, extended, you know, duration of firing accuracy. So we really, really like that. Increase our projectile velocity. Really quite nice. Highly recommend you guys go for that. Down here, I am running the ribbed stubby. This is a fantastic underbarrel to be able to run. If you don't have that, maybe like a 6H64 vertical will be great. They'll give you a little more precision and control, but as you guys could tell in the firing range, it's like, why would I spend points and lose accuracy while I'm moving, while I'm ADS, you know, when I can spend 5 extra points and basically get no cons and be perfectly accurate. It's just one of those things where you got to test it out, see for yourself, but overall, I'd rather spend the 5 extra points and not lose accuracy while I'm moving, so I quite like that. Of course, out here, you want to run the 40 round magazine. No real reason to go for anything else to kind of shorten it up. Maybe you gain a little bit more mobility out of these things, but it's like, I'd rather just have the base 40 round mag, as that's really, really nice. It is an LMG after all. We want to have a bigger mag. That is kind of the point of it. It's not like it has assault rifle mobility either, so It's like, why would you do that? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm going for the base 40. It's not like I'm having, you know, the 60 rad mag, which is 30 points, by the way. Absolutely absurd. I'm not ever going to be using that, but we go for that base 40. Of course, up here, since we have a little bit extra points, we run the 50 MW green laser. Some people, you know, are getting all up in arms about running a laser on one of these guns. It's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, you just want to have something in case you get caught at close range. You can, if you really want to be that guy, run a red laser so it doesn't show up, but of course you lose significant hipfire accuracy. I don't really care if people see that laser I'm aiming at them with. It's not that big of a deal. So for me, I run the 50 MW green. If you don't have that, run the 5 MW green. And lastly, like with any gun, you can run a variety of optics, but this one in particular has something I quite like, which is going to be this BF-2M, which actually does come, I believe, with the Warfighter variant here when you unlock it. And then you can run basically the Baker 3 times. These are going to be like my go-to long-range scopes to switch between. And then I can, of course, slap on the ROM, or as you guys saw in the firing range, the Mini Flex, which always makes guns look like they have less recoil overall. So super awesome stuff. That's the full build. If you guys enjoyed this top 5, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, check out this other video on screen, and I'll see y'all next time.